Who was LL Cool J dissing on I Shot Ya? On November 21st, 1995, LL Cool J released his sixth studio album, Mr. Smith. I consider this to be my favorite LL Cool J album because it has so many smashes that literally took over every radio station and video music channel back then. Records like Doing It, Loungin' Remix with Total, the Grammy Award-winning Hey Lover with Boyz II Men, and of course, I Shot Ya Remix. The record features Keith Murray, Prodigy, Fat Joe, and Foxy Brown. Keith Murray kicks things off, but it was the second verse where Prodigy takes aim at Keith Murray and Def Squad. They had previously been at odds over something that was said on the infamous album, so I'm guessing that Prodigy heard that Keith Murray was also being featured on his record and took the opportunity to take his jab at him. The line sparked more issues and the two crews later clashed at the Tunnel nightclub, but thankfully Keith Murray and Prodigy were able to squash their issues in the presence of Busta Rhymes before Prodigy passed. Fat Joe's verse pieces infamous lines from classic films like Scarface, A Bronx Tale, and Usual Suspects, where he refers to himself as Kaiser Soze. Mix that in with quintessential Fat Joe gangster raps and you have one of my favorite Fat Joe verses of all time. Joe was fresh off the release of his second album, Jealous One's Envy, so being on this record with LL was a good look for him. But if you look closely at his part in the music video, you can spot a young Big Pun standing behind him. This was 3 years before the world would be introduced to Pun through his own debut album, Capital Punishment. A 16-year-old Foxy Brown also appears on the record in what was her introduction to the industry. Discovered by the producers of the record, Trackmasters, she was added to the song and an insane bidding war ensued, with the teenager eventually signing with Def Jam at 17 years old. Now LL's verse is a little controversial because back then the rumors were that he was aiming at the West Coast.
New York appeal, in LA they gang bang, but if you touch a mic, your motherfucking ass hang.
This was still at the beginning of the East and West Coast rivalry, and some West Coast rappers were targeting New York artists on their songs. But at the beginning of his verse, he mentions Kool Moe Dee, Ice-T, and MC Hammer, as he sparred with each one of these rappers in the past and addressed all of them on his record To the Break of Dawn. In recent years, there have been rumors that he was answering Notorious B.I.G.'s Who Shot Ya? But LL has since deaded those rumors on an interview he had on Sway in the Morning, saying that he and Big were friends and that he was in the studio the night that Big wrote Who Shot Ya? But at the very end of his verse, he does say,
Not this time, but next time I'ma name LL.
further confusing fans and circulating even more rumors about who he may have been talking about. But I want to know your thoughts on the Mr. Smith album. Do you have a favorite? What do you think about I Shot Ya the remix? And don't forget to follow me on Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube at FromTheRecord_.